What's happening, folks? It is more official than a ref for the whistle. You're posted with me, the P&G on Rated PG. Unfortunately, we do not have my co-host, the Broski Capdroski. However, comma pause for effect, we do have our very, very special guest. I'm trying to find something to rise to the guy that got it right here. Coming at your neck like you owe us some money. Everybody make some noise for Sonnysofunny.
It's a bar, you know?
Hard bars. Handlebars.
Yeah.
Candy bars.
Yeah.
You know all that?
Yeah, all type of bars.
All of you can follow me on the Instagram at PDiddyBoppa, PDIDDYBOPPAH. And what's your Instagram?
You can follow me at Sonnysofunny.
How do you spell?
And that's SONNY, SOFUNNY. There's a flow to it. You know
I like how you said that FUNNY.
Yeah. Follow me right now. Go to your Instagram. Follow me right now.
All of that. Do you tweet?
I don't really tweet.
Me neither. I don't know how.
I'm not a tweeter.
Do you have any shows coming up for this month?
I do. I'll be, actually, I don't have anything actually scheduled the rest of this month. I'll be going to Delaware for homecoming, for Delaware State University's homecoming.
Ooh.
I got 10 minutes promised to me out there.
Promised?
Yeah.
Give me
so
that.
That's the weekend of the 20th of September. And then early October 6th, I'll be at the Punchline.
Dang.
And actually in October as well, I'll be headed to Memphis for the Memphis Urban Comedy Festival. Yeah. We in there like swimwear. So.
Yes, I always say I'm in there like booty hair. That's a bit more appropriate.
Because I don't want to be anyone's booty hair.
You shouldn't have hair there, I've been told.
That's a lot.
I mean, if you eat it, you wouldn't want, some.
Oh, well, I guess
I can imagine. I don't
shave
do
their
that.
booty holes.
That seems like a very, very dangerous slope to take. Boy, if you cut yourself once, every time you shit, you're going to be reminded.
That burning sensation.
I don't even want to call it a sensation. That reminds me of Future. Like, how's that cheesecake? Sensation. Shows, what's today? The 12th?
Coming up, yeah.
Monday, the 16th, I will be at the Hole in the Wall Comedy Show. Tyler Chronicles will be headlining. I'm one of the features on that. Just added this show to Fetch Comedy, September 19th, Thursday at Fetch Dog Park.
Fetch Dog Park.
It's Fetch Park. I looked it up. It's a dog park.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. The 20th, I will be at $10 Comedy Show. And the 21st, I will be at the Basement Comedy Show at the Relapse Theater. You can look me up on Instagram for the show dates. We're at PiereGuyton.com. Boom. And what got you started in entertainment, Sonnysofunny?
So I've always been an entertainer. I've always been a creator entertainer. Ever since I was a kid, like we used to make up dances and I was like in the little cheerleading crew. I know y'all don't believe me, but I was a little cheerleader from around the way. You know, the type of cheerleaders that be like, we ready to scrap. You go to other people's blocks.
Cheerleader.
Yeah, you be ready to scrap with your cheering crew, but I've always been creative like that. I've always been an entertainer. I come from the type of household that was entertaining. And so, that's my foundation.
What got you started into stand-up comedy, or when did you start doing stand-up comedy?
So I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 2.5 years now. What got me started is I'm funny. And people used to always be like, yo, you funny, you should do comedy. But I didn't know how to write a joke. I didn't know what it meant to do comedy, because I always thought like if I go on stage, then I ain't gonna have nothing to say.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because I know how to bust on people, I know how to crack, I know how to be sarcastic.
Right.
I'm funny, but I didn't know how to be a comedian, and I'm still learning.
I like how you worded that too, yeah. Because, I was like, anybody can be funny. Everybody's funny.
Not everybody, but...
it's a spectrum, But like I always told people, like if somebody's ever told you should do something, like you should paint.
Yeah.
You be like, no, I don't know if I'm good at it or whatever. I'm like, no, nobody's ever went up to me and was like, Piere, you should be an astrophysicist. Not once. Nobody's ever been like, yo, Piere, you should be a professional bodybuilder.
You be like, mind your business.
Right. But people like, yo, you should be a comedian. I think when somebody comes out of their lane to tell you something about yourself, might be something there.
I mean, after a few years, and it was years, I actually took it to heart. And some people was like, yo, we think you funny, will you host this event? Independent movie thingy. And I hosted. I
like how you just so nonchalant, movie shit.
Which really propelled me into this whole arena I'm in now. But I was on stage and I came up with some material. I don't know if you can call them jokes, but I came up with some material. When I got off stage, I went home and I Googled open mic comedy Atlanta. That's how I got started. First place I went was BQE.
Heard.
BQE.
That's a tough first spot.
I didn't know no better. First place I went was BQE. The owner, the owner's wife, or the lady that was the owner, they from Brooklyn. And we started talking, and she was like, yo, you should come back, and I'll make sure you get on. And that was like maybe December of 2016.
That's about right when I started too.
And I came back in January. She's like, after the holiday, come back. And I came back, and I got on. I did all right.
Oh, hold on. Memento. Still Gucci.
All right. Gotta check on ourselves.
Got to. And how did your first set go?
It went come see, come saw. Yeah.
You were like, not the greatest, definitely not the worst.
But I didn't know what that was. So I made it through, and I felt good, and I was like, oh, I want to do it again. I want to get better.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't feel like.
Like it didn't hurt your feelings or anything.
Nah. Like they ain't like that. Nothing I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite jokes to tell, or like something like kind of lightweight, or that you do to start off?
Like
a lot of people, do you do like one-liners, or do you talk about yourself a little bit?
I talk about myself. Yeah, I gotta get that out the way. That way nobody else can come for me.
Like, I know what y'all see.
I know my titties is big.
I can see them.
Yeah, them motherfuckers will not leave me alone. So they definitely ain't leaving you alone.
And so do you just force it, or like pretty much not force yourself, but like when you're telling the jokes, like kind of make people pay attention to like the way you look when you talk about yourself and you're describing it?
Well, I think I have a presence, so people naturally pay attention, but I think it's all intertwined. Like, you know, I bring up about things about myself and what I do, and people's perception of me. Because a lot of times people have a perception of me, and then when they get to know me, they be like, oh, a lot of times people think I'm mean. Mainly because I am.
A little bit. She said, man, I'm not the sweetest potato out here, you know.
But when you really get to know me, you find out I'm actually, you know what I'm saying? A softie.
Well, when you first started doing stand-up, like, what type of material were you using, or you just kind of were trying to find your own lane?
My first joke that I thought was I was like, oh, I'm just the best comedian in the world after I wrote that joke, was my midget joke. I talked about.
Right. It's still relevant.
A midget followed, and I know y'all don't like the word midget, but I do. It's one of my favorite words. But a midget followed me around Walmart. Like I feel like somebody's watching me, but I don't see nobody. And eventually, this midget runs into my package. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't fight no midget, but I would fuck one. And then that's when everybody go crazy. And I go through the whole spiel of, you know, fucking a midget, like, you know, carrying their little asses around the house, fucking them on top of appliances. Such
and such. You're like, you know, the regular, ain't nothing too major.
You know what I'm saying? And from there, I was like, yo, I got something. I got something. So that's yeah.
Well, have you ever been starstruck meeting somebody doing stand-up comedy, or has it taken you somewhere cool to meet some people?
I've met some people. I haven't been starstruck yet.
No?
Nah.
Have you seen, like, for example, I remember I saw Chris Tucker the first time. I wasn't necessarily, like, starstruck, but I was like, yo, that's Chris fucking Tucker right there. That's crazy. Tiffany Haddish, too, the first time I seen her. I was like, yo, oh, my God. And then, you know, afterwards, I think after, like, the first 2 or 3 times you see somebody famous, you just kind of take it. I took it in myself. I'm like, I'm not going to spaz out. You know what I'm saying? Or you just kind of like, nah.
I'll be thinking I'm famous. I'll be
like it.
Tiffany Haddish, you don't know who I am?
Bruh.
Yo, Tiffany, you gotta do your research.
Give me your phone. Let me show you some shit on Instagram.
Hold on, let me tell you this joke real quick. Right? Yeah.
So, have you ever done stand-up in New York?
I have.
Is it different? I've never traveled to do stand-up outside of New York.
I've done stand-up in the city, in Manhattan. I wouldn't say it's different. No. More of a mixed crowd, like
where in New York?
In Manhattan, yeah. More of a mixed crowd, more white people. I mean, you know, welcome to Atlanta is, you know, this is the Black Mecca, and a lot of the clubs predominantly you have, you know, unless you go to, but a lot of the clubs here, you know, you can go to a room that's just all black. I didn't experience that in New York as of yet.
Right.
But I haven't been anywhere. I've only been to the Lantern. That's in Manhattan, and I need to go back. I need to do more. So I need my New York people book me.
Book at where?
Yeah. At Sonnysofunny. On Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah, hit my DMs. You know what I'm saying? When you do,
DM me.
send your news.
We're working on the landing page. We're working on the .com. We in the works.
Alright then. Do you write a lot of your material, or do you just kind of experience it and then express it on stage?
It's a combination. I write. So I used to be a spoken word artist.
Right.
So I have the ability to write. I can write. I'm a writer. I'm not saying I'm a writer like I'm about to write a book, but I can write.
Like your penmanship, your creativity can see itself on paper.
Yes. Prose and poems, I can write. So from that, I have the ability to write. So I write jokes, but I learned that you can write a joke and you might do it on stage, but after you do it a couple of times, so many different facets of the jokes are revealed to you that then it starts coming out just natural with some
little additives to it.
Right. That just come naturally.
Would you describe yourself more of a natural comedian or a creative? By a creative, I mean like somebody who sits down, writes shit out, studies it, like knows it. I know people like that.
I do both. I do that. I write, I study my stuff, I go over it. I go on stage, I bomb, I come back, I cry.
A little bit,
I rewrite and try
That's
again.
funny, fuck y'all.
Right.
I know it's funny in there
There's some
somewhere.
money in there, right, somewhere. Yeah.
No, I forgot what I was about to ask you about that. Have you ever bombed with like your A set, like your greatest, like the things that you think are like the funniest shits ever?
Absolutely, because at every stage I'll be thinking this is the greatest shit I ever wrote.
Yeah, that's
like anyone has ever wrote. Did you see this? Better than the Bible, my nigga.
I tell people, I was like, one thing you can hear way more than laughter is that resounding silence.
It's horrible.
Woo, that silence is loud.
It stabs you in the gut.
Like when you just hear the bartender in the back scooping ice.
You hear some tissue paper just...
Bruh. Or you hear the bartender, is this your tab? Like, pay your tab, bro.
Why is everybody so quiet? Y'all could be louder.
Is this thing on? I remember I said that once. I said, is this thing on? Somebody was like, yes.
Yeah.
I was just,
you suck.
All right, y'all. That's my time, y'all. Thanks for coming out.
And that's one of the things I used to do when I first got started was if I was on stage and I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere, I would just say, that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. No matter if it was 30 seconds in, a minute in.
Yeah.
Man, fuck this 5 minutes. I'm out of here. And I would bounce.
And so you got something too. Like, I didn't know this until like a year into comedy. Somebody was like, bro, just because you get 5 minutes, you don't have to stay up there.
But I had another host tell me, how I'm gonna give you 3 minutes and you just gonna use 30 seconds? That ain't right. You gotta stay up here and try.
Not really.
No. First of all, shut up.
Like, don't make me grab this microphone and give you another 30 seconds.
Bump me in the head with it. Yeah, I'll be having to tell hosts to shut up.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's a bit more difficult for you to get on shows because you're a woman?
Well, I do think it is
Lauren Knight was talking about this.
I do think it is a male-dominated sport. It is a male-dominated sport. And a lot of times, for some reason, men like to be around each other. Niggas don't want no pussy, no titties, no ass around. Oh, they're like, I'll take the ass.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Everybody has an ass.
Right, Laura was like, it's funny how dudes approach you when they want to fuck you.
And now that's a good question because I think that the girls that are more fuckable get more bookings or acts to perform.
Or opportunities.
Opportunity, that's the better word, a great word. Opportunities than a woman like me where, I come out the gate talking about fuck all you niggas.
Right.
And you bitches.
Everybody.
Right, and fuck everybody.
And they like, oh, she aggressive. I was like, nah, y'all sensitive. That's all it is.
Right.
I was like, fuck ain't nothing but a sentence enhancer.
The thing is, am I the only aggressive person in the world? No.
Nope.
So, yeah.
But no, Lauren was like, if you're a woman, people may not give you like, she was like, for example, if dudes want to fuck you, they might put you on the show. Then after they find out you're not going to fuck them, they don't call you no more or like want to put you on the show or anything.
What you want them to call you for?
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, I never even thought about it that way. She's like, think about it if it was a woman-dominated industry, right? And it's all women doing this and that and the third, and you wanted to get in, and they were like, well, what are you going to do for this? You might.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that in this day and age that with all of that that's being what you call it, under the microscope and being examined, that dudes still carry on like that.
Right. It's like when you find out people are still racist. You're like, wow. Right. You still doing
400 years of, us working towards something and you still on that dumb shit? No, I'm not picking your cotton.
I told somebody, bro, I was like,
get these Mexicans to do it.
Right. I was like, bro, look.
Just kidding.
It's 2019, bro. I was like, some of y'all say y'all wouldn't pick cotton. I was like, bro, I would.
That
money was right.
Alright.
I was like, fuck you talking about? I said I would pick strawberries for $50 an hour.
They got thorns. I don't want to pick anything that's thornish.
You got gloves. Like I said,
gloves.
If somebody paid you.
Have you ever picked the cotton?
No.
Right. You can't wear gloves.
Well, I mean, they got something you could use now. But point being,
a machine.
Right. Point being, if somebody was like, "I'll pay you $50 an hour to pick cotton," I'm like, "Bet." That's $50 an hour.
All right.
I'm like, you pick strawberries for $50 an hour.
Yeah, watch what you ask for. You're gonna be the first one in line.
Nigga, I like, if y'all niggas want to judge
it's
me.
like we giving you $150. You're gonna pick this whole 3.5 acres of cotton.
If y'all niggas want to judge me, you gotta wait and come to my private island I bought myself after selling myself out with all this money. Nah, I
see it.
Bang, bang, bang. And another question, I forgot to ask you this earlier. Have you ever gotten a heckler?
Yeah. People talk shit.
Well, what do you define as a heckler, actually?
Somebody in the audience without a microphone.
Heard.
Talking loudly at you, hurling insults, or, I don't know how to call it. Trying to take your stage time.
I was going to say trying to steal the show.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are people who are just a little drunk.
Yeah, there's some people that
excited, you know.
But no, somebody who's like consistent with it, who has like, you know what I'm saying? Just you have a whole couple of specific things you darting towards me loudly,
right, above
everyone, and that's a heckler.
Like even if it's like one or two words, like no. Yeah. How do you handle it? Like
So it depends on the mood, or depends on how the vibe is. Cause if I'm rolling, I crack. I find something about everybody.
Right.
First start with me. Okay, that's how I look at you. Yeah. But I crack on them, or that was it. The experience I had, I cracked back. I said something to shut them up.
I've been fortunate enough to not have a heckler. I've had people that are just kind of like talking. I'll just kind of talk over them. Luckily for me, like people in the crowd are like, "Shut up!"
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Next question though. What was one of the biggest shows you've performed at or for? Or you could recall?
One of the biggest shows I've performed at, probably that You Got Time.
That was a dope show too.
Yeah.
You was up there glowing in them shorts.
That's horrible. No one told me don't wear the.
And just like now, button all the way up.
I use all my buttons.
He said it's a waste not to.
Yeah, I'm a button abuser. If the buttons are on the shirt, I'm gonna use them.
Okay, well.
Okay, don't put them in there if you don't want me to use them.
Right, that's like having a zipper and leaving it open.
Well, hey.
Oh. Sometimes you want.
Somebody say, "Yeah, you want button when the buttons your titties gonna plop out the top." I'm like.
That wasn't even kind of creative. Like, do you know anatomy, sir? I'm assuming it was a man.
Yeah, and a little man at that. They always looking at my bosom and shit. They just right about here. Little men, either they love me or they hate me.
What is your definition of a bomb?
An unnecessary part of reality.
Yeah?
Well, nah, it's necessary. But bombing is when you bombing is not being in sync, not having a timing, maybe not having a sequencing, maybe forgetting parts of your bit, and the crowd making it obvious
that it has happened.
Right, that you've done all the above, or one of the items above.
Because I remember. What was the one? I forget who this was. I think it was B Tuck. And he was like, if at any point you lose the crowd, he's like, that is a bomb. And he was like, it don't matter if you was up for 25 minutes and you was killing for 23.
Right.
And then you got him back for the last 3 minutes, even if they was laughing hard as fuck, that was still A bomb right there. Somebody else is like when you give up on the set yourself.
That's a good one.
They're like you feel like you don't even want to be there anymore.
It is defeating when you, especially when. So I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still developing as a comedian. But when you figure out timing, that timing, because you can have your joke down pat.
Yeah.
But it ain't got no rhythm to it.
Right.
And that destroys your life right there.
Cadence.
I mean, all of those things, and I've been in those situations where it's defeating. I mean,
because people in the crowd, they want you to do good too.
They do.
Want to laugh.
They do.
I really believe they don't want you to be bad.
It's your fault. It is. I blame you, Sadiqua.
Like our silence is our answer right now.
Yeah.
But what was another? Cameron Keys had a really. B-Tuck and Cameron Keys had the funniest story. Cameron Keys, like, you ever had one of those bombs? Well, he said he was bombing on stage. It was at like Atlanta Comedy Theater, I think. He said it was packed out. And nobody was laughing for like 2 minutes. And he said he heard laughter and he looked down and this lady was on her phone.
Laughing at something.
Kind of, sort of worse. She was playing a laugh track. Like a track of people laughing.
Because you need help, buddy.
And then he was like, all right, y'all, that's my time. He said, I put the mic down. You ever get off stage and don't dap anybody up?
Man, I've gotten off stage, left the building, got in my car.
And that's exactly what he said.
Cried.
He said, you get in your car.
And cried.
You don't even turn the car on.
Pissed.
You just sitting there. He said, then you crying, but you ain't blinking.
Right.
So the tears just
then
come.
You start blaming your mother and your childhood. Like,
he said, and then when you turn the car on, it start raining. Every time.
Just fucked up.
Man, you start thinking of all the fucked up shit you did.
Right.
You was like, man, I'm really garbage. What the fuck all these people been laughing at all this time?
So to be honest with you, I feel like since we talked about it, I bombed last night at Atlanta. Now I didn't have like people silent for minutes, but I mean I just feel like I didn't have the crowd.
Yeah.
And I felt like
that happens.
When I was reflecting, I was in the car. I was like, damn, yo, for real? Am I meant to do this? Because
yeah, man.
I start looking at myself like, yo, you ain't shit, son.
Bruh. This happened to me twice now. You've heard my getting pulled over story, all that shit. Yeah. Twice has it bombed. Not one laugh the entire 3 minutes.
Wow. See, I need to hear that because I did some of my more popular stuff.